The third program I'm going to be demonstrating how to do a simple assemble edit with is HitFilmExpress. This is not as well known as DaVinci Resolve or Premiere Pro, but it has the virtue of being free and also being cross-platform as the other two are, but without some of the bells and whistles that the other two programs have. I'm going to launch it now. Its business model works on you buying the equivalent of add-ins or in-app purchases. So I've launched the program here. I'm going to choose new. As you can see here, this is the invitation to add some functionality to the program, but there's a lot you can do with the program in its free iteration. It comes with a lot of tutorial support with this fella here who goes through it in a very compelling way, but I'm just going to show you how to do the basic exercise that I've already shown on Resolve and Premiere Pro. So I'm going to go new, and slightly differently, this asks you to set up a default, so 1080p. I'm going to work to that for argument's sake. I only want a minute's worth, so frames, seconds and 1 minute. Okay, 920 1080 frame rate. The UK PAL is 25 frames, but you can change that as you see fit. Audio, so leave that all as is. Rendering, you don't need to touch that, so just click OK, and then we'll launch into an interface. Really, essentially, the not that much different from Premiere Pro. So you have source monitor here, you have the timeline monitor here, you have audio meters here by default. Here is the actual timeline. You've got tools down here that mimic much of the functionality you find in Premiere Pro, and the first thing we want to do is to import some footage. So if I click here, stuff folder, so let's work on different bunch of clips. So let's maybe take those four, bring them in. And it's just what it calls conforming the audio. That shouldn't take very long at all. And once that's done, so this one's already done, this is Night at the Garden. See, this then becomes the source monitor, and I can familiarly scrub through this. I can use the space bar to stop playback. I can use JKL keys in order to double speed forward or backwards, or to pause the video. So the same keys can be used for marking in and out points, so bear with me while I simply arbitrarily choose some footage here. So in point, out point there, like that, and you'll see that this functionality of either just using the video or the audio from that can be used as well. I'm going to click and drag here, however, and put it in, and you can take advantage of the fact it's telling you here. So I'm going to put it roughly 1 second in. Yes, now we have the issue again of the clips being at different resolutions. If you recall at the beginning, I set it at 1080p. This is saying this is different from that. Do I want to change the sequence to match this? No, I'll stick with 1080p. So now if I scrub through this, you can see that, yeah, although it fills the frame, we are going to have those black borders there like that. So we'll live with that. Let's get another one. This is 920 by 1080. I think it was saying that because it's cropping off here. It's obviously archival footage that looks different. So let's take another one. This is from Maud. Now this is it's in extreme widescreen with the borders to match, so it does fit 16:9 ratio, but the resolution is going to be lower. Let's see what happens when we click this in. So an in point, an out point, drag it in here. So that starts at 1811, so around about 1911, something like that. I can give my hands, I can put it there. Let's go here. So there you see, the proportions are right because the black bars make it up to 16:9, although it's shot in an even wider format than that. It's way too much. There's my 1 minute. I've already burst that, so the timeline's extended to suit, but let's say we want about that much of the footage. And now we're left with how we scale this up in this instance. And you do that by clicking, make sure you're on the particular clip, because sometimes you can scale up the wrong clip because you're actually hovering over something else. And I go to controls here, and one of the default controls here, scale. So that's probably going to be 225% will fill the frame. I can either click and drag, or I think it's going to be 225. Yep, that looks alrighty. So that's added that clip there. You can see the audio meters kicking in. We'll be covering how you can adjust the audio in a subsequent session, but for the purposes of this, so I just want to move, that's timeline's at 135 there, so let's move it on to about 136, and I'll use that as a marker for my next. And let's make this a final clip, so go back to media here, and let's take something from Malamente. A bit in the back of the truck we like, so I can, if I want specifically that, well, I'll just do it roughly and then do it on the timeline. So from there to there, that's probably way too much, but let's just grab that. Not too far out. So got a bit of back of the truck stuff going on there. I can use my arrow keys, hold it down, and I'm scrubbing through a frame at a time. No, I'm not. My error. What I'm actually doing is I'm moving. See, I've got these things here. So let's see if I can Control Z that, and that has reset that. That's all good. So let's snap it to that line. Yeah, snapping turns on and off here, and pull it back because it's just over a minute in length. So I can do that to trim it, and it gives me an indication of where that ends. Okay, and I'm around about the 1 minute mark there, like that, with gaps in between for me to pause it and to talk about the clip itself. So, I just eye for an in point there, and I just want a little bit of black at the end, just stop abruptly there. So now I've got about a minute's worth here, and what I can do now is simply click this button here, export now into out area, which I will do. I might do a quick export. Okay, some that I was working on earlier, but let's click. That's one suspended. I just want to do this one. So asking me for a name. So let's call this Tim HFE1, and put that in the stuff folder there, like that. Save. Let's add it there. Right, why is it doing that one? Let's suspend that. Now I should be able to. You sure we want to cancel? Yes. Get rid of that one. Get rid of that one. That one's done, so it shouldn't affect anything. So now start exporting, and we're off. Okay, well, what will happen is that this is rendering and then exporting it to a file, and because I have resized certainly the moored clip, this is chugging along at quite a sedate pace, but you'll notice it probably slows down even more because what it's got to do is work out that resizing. So although most video programs are designed so that they can buffer working out this stuff to memory, when you actually need to commit it to disk, it needs to do it for real. So we've got a progress thing going up there like that, just showing that clip there, and as soon as that's done we'll Control S to save the program, and then we'll just check that we've got that file. I'll just check where it's saved. Yeah, Tim HFE1, nearly there, done. Okay, Control S, saving the project. Bear in mind the project is different from the media, so I can actually save this as a project. So let's call this Tim HFE edit 1. Okay, I'll just stick it in that stuff folder. That's done. And now close this. Now let's go to that folder, see if we can find the output file, just check that that's worked. HFE1 MP4. Yep, scrubbing through that. Okay, so that's the same exercise using HitFilmExpress.